What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, listen. Yesterday, I gave a heartfelt message to the citizens of Memphis, Tennessee. Shout out Memphis, you know what I'm saying? And it was about the United States Department of Justice Civil Rights Division down there conducting an investigation. And they're talking to citizens that have succumbed to police brutality and just ill treatment by the police. Yesterday in the video, I told you guys to tell your story, and I mean that. And like I said, we got to have change. We have to. It's a well-known fact that police treat certain neighborhoods better than certain other neighborhoods, and certain people better than other type of people. We're not even going to put that out there because, I mean, I've seen it myself. And really, it's due to social class, rich versus poor, and all of this stuff. But I mean, that's neither here nor there or the premise of this video. Today, I want to talk about somebody who's telling their story. And this is a wild story. And the thing that's messed up is I believe this. And I'll explain that why after I play this video clip. But it's a story of a man who claims to be violated by a police officer during a standard stop and frisk or whatever it is when the cops run up on you and think you got paraphernalia or something illegal on you. Now, whether you agree with that or not, check this story out, man.
6:34, the U.S. Justice Department is investigating how Memphis police officers use force and conduct arrests. The DOJ says MPD may be disproportionately focusing its traffic enforcement on black drivers. Allegations started piling up long before Tyree Nichols was beaten to death. This morning, in a story you'll only see here, Bria Jones talks to a man who's suing the police department because of what he says happened to him.
In this area, I can put it however I want.
You're now looking at body camera footage WREG obtained from a 2019 incident involving MPD officers. Complaints of situations like this are what prompted this announcement Thursday.
The U.S. Department of Justice is opening a civil rights investigation into the city of Memphis and the Memphis Police Department to determine whether there is a pattern or practice of conduct that violates the Constitution.
In 2019, the man you see here, DeAndre Billingsley, alleged excessive use of force after he was detained in Binghamton. His pending lawsuit says he was wrongfully stopped, detained, and raped by an MPD officer. Billingsley says the incident happened after he pulled over to talk with a friend who was also patted down.
They just jumped out the car and he slapped his hands on the hood, like hands on the hood now. Like, never asked me my name.
He says what happened next he was not expecting.
You check his right good?
He stuck a finger in my anus, said he was looking for drugs.
Jake Brown is Billingsley's attorney.
You determine excessive force based on whether the amount of force was unreasonable for the circumstances. And in my client's case, it certainly was. I mean, they inserted a finger into his anus without following the proper statutory protocols.
In Billingsley's case, he says while marijuana was found on his friend, officers found no drugs on him, and eventually he was let go. He and his attorney believe the federal investigation into MPD is warranted to end a culture that disproportionately impacts black and brown lives.
Has a pattern of treating certain members of certain communities in this city as less than, entitled to fewer rights, entitled to less protection, and that is not what the law says.
I shouldn't have to die for my voice to be heard. I don't want to be the next Tyrese Nichols or George Floyd. I mean, I need my story to be heard while I'm still breathing.
All right, guys, that's the story. And I got to be honest with you. I believe him. And I believe him for this one simple fact. That's a normal heterosexual man. For him to come out in public, show his face, and give his name, and say a cop violated him like that, come on, man. Ain't nobody, I don't see nobody making that up. Do you? I mean, he just like a regular dude. People know him in the street. And to say a cop did that to you, I'll let them decide. But I mean, honestly, guys, I grew up in areas where police treat you a certain way. A lot of times things save me. What saved me from going to jail is when you speak and they understand how you talk and they see like you got some kind of intelligence, they treat you a little bit different when you don't sound and act like everybody else. Now, this is something I was taught when I was younger, you know, deal with any type of conflict intelligently. You know, it's a way to get your point across, but you know, you speak and let them know you're not just some animal, you're a human being just like them. And I think that worked. I ain't gonna say worked like it was a trick, but it had an effect on how I was treated when police would run down on me and my friends. In fact, I'm sure of it. You know, I'm from the East Coast. It's nothing for a bunch of cops to jump out the car and just run up on you en masse and just put you against the wall and check you and then walk away and not even say anything. So, I mean, what he's saying he's going through, I've been through that. I've seen that. But I mean, I've seen cops like give people wedgies or like pull their pants down to their ankles, like trying to be smart with them, embarrassing them in public. And it's not good behavior. But I mean, this situation here is always under the premise of looking for drugs or something. But I mean, sometimes you got to have cause for that. Because I mean, there are cops that ride around in neighborhoods, and you guys know this. There are cops that ride around in poor neighborhoods looking for people to fuck with. And when I talk about the police, I'm not talking about all police, because there are some good cops out there. I know some good cops. So I don't just shame the whole thing. But I mean, there are a lot of asshole cops out there too, such as the case with this. I ain't playing. If you a cop, be a cop. You ain't no fucking proctologist. Why you sticking your finger in his butthole? You know the brothers don't play that shit. You know what I mean? I don't care what kind of movements they got out here right now. You know what I'm saying? That's a lifestyle choice. And my man ain't choose for you to do that. Talking about you looking for drugs. Would you looking for crack? Yeah, butt crack. Get the fuck out. Yo, that would have set me off. I would have never let that go. I done went and got a lure immediately. Yo, this dude finger fucking. Him right there, Officer fucking Rainbow. You know what I'm saying? That shit is not cool. They be trying to dehumanize people sometimes. Regardless of if somebody says something that make you mad, because I mean, people talk to cops. Let's keep it real. Like they crazy. They say a lot of disrespectful stuff, and cops react by doing stuff to them, which is wrong too. But you picked the job, bro. That's why I ain't no cop, because I can't deal with mouth and all this other stuff. Now, I understand people want to make a difference by going out in the street and taking a fight to the criminal, but I mean, it's ebbs and flows with that shit. My man, you picked that job. And it ain't for you to be bullying people that are already in a prone position with their hands on a fucking hood, and you talking about you searching for drugs, but you going all the way up in there prison style like they just came out the fucking visiting room. Y'all feel what I'm saying? No cause for that. No cause. I seen a cop one time, I swear. I was on Federal Street in Camden, New Jersey. Y'all know where Federal Street is, right? I was over there by Red Circle Liquor. I was just walking. I'm walking down the street, and a cop just, like 4 cops just jumped out. One cop had a ski mask on. It was some Puerto Rican dudes on the corner. They jumped out the car and just ran up on these guys, and like 2 of the guys just ran out of fear because the car was unmarked. They didn't know who they was, and it wasn't a normal car like a Crown Vic. It was just a regular car. They jumped out. I'm walking. I stopped. Now, you know I'm not with these Puerto Rican dudes. I'm like 20 feet away from them. And when I walked up, the guy that got out the car that I'm about to specify looked me right in the face. Because I noticed him when I was walking. I happened to look. I seen the guy put the mask on, but it was too late for me to move back or run or anything. They jump out the damn car and just run up on these dudes and just punch one of them in the fucking face. A random dude. Knocked them on the ground. Just start handcuffing them. And then I walk by, I can hear them talking to him. They're like, hey, man, what the hell? Right? The guy that I make eye contact with, as I'm walking by and I look, because they announced they was police after they handcuffed them. And they're asking them, do they know somebody? And they got a picture and they're giving it to them like, yo, you know this guy. One dude is speaking Spanish. The one that was speaking Spanish I guess he was speaking, in case they act like they didn't speak English, He's speaking Spanish to them. I'm walking up. The one that's speaking Spanish was the one that made eye contact with me in the car. As I'm walking, he just grabs me and throws me on the ground with them. Now, he didn't handcuff me, but he made me sit there with them. And he kept asking me, what you looking at? What you looking at? I was scared to death. I was like, damn, they just do this to you now? Like, you know, because for a while, I'm like, man, I don't believe they be doing this type of stuff. And when I seen it firsthand, all of a sudden, once you see something, you start seeing it all the time. I'm like, damn, this shit is crazy. So after a while, I got to the point where I'm like, I ain't walking nowhere because I'm a walker. I like walking places. I'm like, I ain't walking no more. So, I mean, this story, this man saying, I believe that shit. Especially in New York, they do this shit a lot in New York. And you start to see it on social media, motherfuckers walking, they just get fucked up by the police. They just leave off. Just because you wear a uniform, it doesn't match your mindset. And a lot of people take that for granted. That's all I'm saying. I hope this guy get justice. That right there is that's heinous to me. Heinous to touch another man's anus. You know what I'm talking about. But listen, one more thing. That should be, I mean, I give him respect. And it took courage to say that. And a lot of y'all out there that regardless of if you was wrong or not, and your treatment was unjust when they grabbed you or did you dirty, or if they did something to you that made you react a certain way and then they hit you with a charge after you reacted because they egged you on, you need to come out and talk to these people. Nothing is going to change unless we make it change ourselves. That's all I'm saying. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. I'll be getting mind blanks. Take care.